stop on live.
Welcome to Market Tea Tuesday, where the tea is always hot.
Happy Tuesday.
It's hot. Are we getting fired, hired, rates going down, going up? Who knows?
That is definitely the talk around out on the street right now.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a different market. And I think that just staying alert and knowing what's happening, and they're worried about job data. I know Fannie Mae came out with stuff about that, so I know that's a little bit concerning. But
yeah, it was the lowest since December of 2020. So that is, I mean, that is a little scary for sure.
However, for informational purposes too, that is what allows rates to come down. Like you can't have rates come down unless a recession happens, and that's what guess what happens in a recession? People unfortunately lose jobs. But it's just like a rubber band; it can only be pulled so far until it has to be let go, right? Or it breaks.
Yeah.
And so that's important to note, is that these things are what need to happen to get the rates. So we can't want the low rates and lower inflation without that.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think, I mean, like you said, right, we have to kind of see the worst of it for some things to get better, right? So yeah, the jobs report may not be the best, but we're going to see some of the benefits on the mortgage side. And yeah, there is some concern about the upside risk to unemployment, right? And we just have to kind of see how that plays out. And due to the job report coming in how it did, it is going to benefit us on the mortgage side again on September 17th when the Feds meet. So it kind of solidifies that the decision on the rate cut does make sense right now. So something that I know you are very big on, and that I like to always have these conversations with my clients, are if I'm on the phone and we're like, all right, let's get this started, and they're like, oh, well, we just want to wait for the Feds to cut the rates. These lenders have already priced out these
100%.
cuts. So what you're getting today, it's already accounting that quarter, or what is it? It's a quarter, right? That we're 25.
Yeah. So, and that quarter doesn't necessarily translate to a quarter in mortgages either. It's a quarter elsewhere. So I think that's thing to understand. And I know we keep talking about rates to make affordable, but something else interesting that I saw this week is that home insurance costs average nearly 10% of the monthly payment, which is an all-time high.
Now, let me ask you, is that just here in Florida or is that nationwide?
No, that's nationwide. So it's the average.
Wow.
So I'm sure we're accounting for a big part of that, but it is the average.
Wow, that's crazy. I know Monica with Assured Partners, which we love and adore. I know she just posted something not too long ago stating that, hey, like insurance is actually it's on track to come down a little bit. So if you are a homeowner and you're getting those escrow notices, make sure to shop for your insurance. And if you don't have an insurance agent or broker that you are, that you have on dial, like on speed dial, reach out to us. We'll definitely connect you with some of the best in the industry.
And another thing too with that is just please make sure you filed homestead if it was your primary residence, and you haven't filed yet. Super important. I've seen so many people that closed in the last year that forgot to file homestead, and you don't get to go retroactive. Unfortunately, the county is going to make you follow it for the final year, and we pay our taxes backwards. So it's going to take everything back. Another thing too is concerning in the market, and I know it's not rates necessarily, but the flood insurance coverage gaps are presenting a big problem for mortgage companies too, is because flood insurance doesn't always cover the total amount, And so if you have major flooding, it's only a percentage. Like the average person has $250,000 to $500,000 in coverage, and on average it's $250,000. And so you can't really do a lot for $250,000 these days, especially if you have a much higher cost house. So I think that's important to note when it comes to flooding and things like that. But these are all things that go into a factor of owning a home and its affordability. I know we talk a lot about rates and a lot about price, but there's other things to consider too that make a big impact.
Yeah, definitely. And just if you do want to discuss because I know me personally, I've had clients reach out and it's like, hey, my mortgage keeps going up. What do I do? Let's talk over your options and make sure that it makes sense for you in the long term. If you're going to tell me, hey, I'm going to move in the next year or two, and the rate on investment is 5+ years, I am not going to encourage you to get this refinanced. I'm not going to encourage you to do that. There's no benefit for you financially. There's no there's no, nothing that you and your family can benefit from it, right? So make sure that we look at the big picture, because yes, just because you may get a lower interest rate, does not it may not necessarily mean that it makes sense.
Well, and you might be eating up some of your equity too. Like, and if you're going to sell in the next time, you don't want to eat up all that equity. That's another thing too, is really considering before you use like down payment assistance programs and stuff like that. What is your 2 and 5 and 10-year plan? And I know those plans change, but just so we can see your goals. So I think that's important to talk to somebody like Carolina or myself, just so we can kind of see those goals from there. So, and I think that's important. Another thing is big news in the mortgage industry. If we have pulled your credit and you have gotten 50,000 calls, if you were lonely and they called you and became your friend, that is going away. Okay. As of March of next year, they will have to eliminate those calls. Now, let's get this straight. This is what happens here is the credit bureaus, TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, sell your public data. And since all of our information is on the internet, they're selling names, phone numbers, and the fact that you applied for a mortgage. And they'll all of a sudden send you like these crazy, too good to be true rates that they're charging you 30, 40,000, because they're hoping that you only see that payment and not the bottom line of what the closing costs are. And especially for people who English is their second language or they're elderly that don't quite understand all the things. And so it's really bad for consumers when these type of spam calls happen, because most spam callers aren't legit, right?
Right.
And so this is going to go away, and they will be fined if you report them, of course. So I think that's important to note. They won't go away immediately.
So
huge
I'm really excited to see that. I know I get a lot of clients that get frustrated. I mean, we see it all the time just on social media. I know a lot of other mortgage brokers, they'll post like, oh my gosh, like they're harassing my client. I promise you that's what people do. Like that. It's because your information has been sold and the credit bureaus want you to shop for the quote unquote best rate. But if you're already working with someone you trust, you can, just ignore those phone calls. Something that I want to bring up that I thought was super interesting was that the average age for, the median age for first-time homebuyers has gone up to 38 years old. And that's, and that's up from 33 just a few years ago. And I do think that affordability has a big factor in this because prices have gone up, right? We've seen it in the last couple of years. Interest rates, affordability is just a big, it is an obstacle for some people, right? Just because they have the income, just because they have the credit. I talk to a lot of younger buyers where they're very budget conscious. And I love that because no one wants to be house poor. Everyone wants to buy a house, but trust me, we don't want you to be house poor. So, I just thought I wanted to make sure we bring that up because I don't know if you have a lot of friends in that 38-year-old range, 38 plus, definitely reach out to them. They may be wanting to buy.
That's so important. Definitely. So, but yeah, we're going to be watching the market. It might be time for you to refinance. It might not. We are in the most expensive time of the year to refinance sometimes because we have taxes coming up, but you will be refunded your current escrow at your mortgage company. So let us analyze that for you. Make sure your return on investment's there. See what it looks like right now to you for savings while we can. So reach out to one of us and we can help you with that.
Yes. And thank you all for joining us. And again, I know we always say this, if anyone wants to ever join us, please let us know. We would love to have you here.
Absolutely. Thank you. See you guys next week.
Bye.